Are you thinking about opening a pressure washing business? Have you already opened a pressure washing business and looking to save some time and money? You may be like, hey, what in the world is a market analysis? Well, today I'm going to share with you what we learned. So we had to spend a ton of time, ton of money learning how to create an avatar for the home service business. And so we basically took 12 to 14,000 of our customers here in Nashville and we created the demographic, the avatar. And so now that we have an avatar, we can overlay that inside of any city, any town, and it gives us basically a treasure map. It lets us know exactly where our customers are so I can stop spending money in certain locations and start spending money in other locations. And then it's the same thing with our time. I don't have to spend time in these neighborhoods. I can spend my time in these neighborhoods so I can grow the business. This year, we have already saved around $20,000 because of this market analysis. And so today I'm going to take you through what's called a tapestry map and then help you identify whether or not you should order a tapestry map or not. And let me tell you, it is a mistake not to order a market analysis. And if you're in any home service space or if you've got a friend that's in a home service space, make sure they see this video. If they've not done a market analysis, we can actually order one for them, and then they can get a 30-minute conversation with me on how to read it so they can start spending their money and their time in those locations. But let's go ahead and start looking at our kind of the people groups that are inside of most of our cities. The first one I want you to look at is called the Middleburg. It's going to show you who they are, the neighborhoods that they live in, and some of the socioeconomic traits that make up their situation. And then also remember the color, okay? Because that's the color is going to become super helpful when we start looking at the actual map. And then also make sure you remember the 4C. In a minute, we're going to look at what's called the suitability document, and it is the go-to document. But you'll get a ton of information, and it doesn't matter if you're trying to grow a church, you're trying to grow a business, whether it's do-it-yourself kits or it's the home service business. But for our case today, I'm just wanting to target those that can afford our services. And so right here inside of other, after they spend their money on their housing, their food, their apparel, their transportation, every expense is taken care of. This is kind of the number that's left over. And we are looking for people that are over the 150. And so if I see Middleburg on my map or the pink color, I'm thinking they can afford a little bit. The chances are, man, they're taking care of their family. They're probably doing the work themselves, or they have a landlord that's taking care of that for them. And so to be honest with you, they are not the individuals that we're looking to target. Another example is our workday drive. Notice that their medium household income is a little bit higher. Their kids are getting a little bit older. And let's go down and look at how much extra cash they have after all bills are paid. And they're right there around our bubble of hitting 150, but they're not there yet. And so if I'm starting a business and I see a bunch of pink, I love the idea of saying, hey, these groups of people would be great to connect them to parenting guides or help. What do I do with conflict inside the home, sibling rivalry, or connecting them to a VBS or a Sunday school class? So I love that this as being, hey, we need to target that for that, but we're not trying to grow those ministries. Right now, we're trying to grow our little small business. And so I'm not really looking for the workday drive people as well. And so let me show you about another group. You're going to see a color green on your map. It's identified by 6A. And notice they don't really have kids around the home anymore to spend their money on. So what do they spend their money on now? They are do-it-yourselfers. And so if you are wanting to sell a kit of how to do it yourself, whether it's sealing your driveway or installing Christmas lights or cleaning your own home, if you have a bottle and you're wanting to sell to put on the end of a garden hose, these are kind of your people. Notice that they too have a little bit, they're under the 150, But the money that they have left over is not going to be spent on the kids. It's going to be spent on doing work outside. And so anytime that you see a green, I know that I'm not spending money or time in that area for our services because I'd be wasting my time. But let's go ahead and get excited a little bit about where our treasure is located. Our treasure is actually located in colors of orange. If you see orange on your map, it's something to get excited about. And you'll also notice it starts with a one. And so in our suitability map, you're going to see a bunch of ones on the grid. And then that is where you're going to end up targeting your time and money. So I want you to notice that a little bit about who they are, their neighborhoods, and their traits. And then notice their kids are gone, but yet they're still living in a big house. And as your kids leave the house, leave the nest, you're going to not want to spend time just cleaning the house. You're going to want to hire other people to take care of your home. And so let's look down here a little bit and see where they're at as far as spending their money. 179. And so anything over 150, we know all day long they're going to be interested in purchasing our services. And so if you see orange on your map, be very excited. And then another group, this is something to be a little bit more excited about, is the 1D group. And it goes all the way up to 1A. And I'll share about 1A people here in a second. They're unique characteristics, and they also have a different color than orange. But this shows you again where their economics are. They're at 168, shows you the stage of life. Man, they're eating nice. They're out. They're want to be out on Friday and Saturday nights and have somebody else taking care of their home services. So let's now get into the treasure map itself. And so when you order a market analysis, you're going to get what you see right here on the screen. Now, I'm going to take my time in going through this, but I know you're going to have a lot of questions. Help me help you by asking whatever questions you would like to know the answers to after you see this video. And then I'll come back and do another video in about 2 or 3 months on the market analysis itself. But I want you to notice again that at the very top left-hand corner, it kind of shows you the population density of the area that we're checking out, which is around the Sacramento, California area. And so when I see this, I know that there's a ton of Workday, Middleburg, but here at number 4, number 5, look at all these ones here. There's a good population of our customers here. And this lets me know that, hey, I might be able to run 4 or 5 trucks based on where those guys are located, or open up 2 or 3 different locations over time. But you don't start there, you end there. But having this intel helps you know how to get there. And so look right here as far as the ranking, 1 to 5. When you see this, you know that the people that you're trying to serve are going to be located in these dark red colors. All of our customers that order home service businesses are going to be right inside of those colors. And if you notice 21, well, let's start with, I would even say from 11 to 168, and that represents how many zip codes are in this tapestry map. I would not spend any time or any money in the bottom 100 and what 140. Don't hate me on my math. 150, but I wouldn't spend any time and money there. I'm going to spend all of it here. So if I'm going door knocking, if I'm putting up yard signs, if I'm joining a business networking group, guess where it's going to be? Inside of these zip codes. How do you learn where your customers are? By ordering a market analysis. And let me just ask you real quick, if you're looking to build a profitable and purpose-driven business, I want to invite you to check out pressurewashingpastor.com. We have a free webinar on how to start a business. And then if you're trying to grow your business, we offer coaching, cohorts. You can fly down to Nashville, and then we also do virtual workshops to help you with marketing and sales and so forth. But all of that starts by visiting pressurewashingpastor.com. Now, check back out to our tapestry map again. I want to dig in a little bit closer to some of the analytics. And so what you just saw is called your target map. Now we're going to get into your tapestry map. And I want to promise you this, not all cities and states look like this. When I see this map, and I lived in this area, or if someone contacted me and said, "Hey, Joshua, are you interested in partnering with us and opening a Browns?" I will say, let's do a market analysis and see what the things look like to make sure we're a good fit for each other. And if it looks like this and you live somewhere near the orange or the red area, we're going to have a relationship. I'm going to either help you grow your business or we're going to grow a business together that makes an impact while making income. So notice real quickly that there's a red color down here. You remember when I said earlier that if red was in in your area, you can end up, they're a different group of people. These are folks that we sell ten to $15,000 jobs, and they don't blink. They just want someone that is reputable, that knows what they're doing. And if you throw out a number of saying, "Hey, it's $10,000 for us to clean your entire property," they just say, "When can you start?" They're not getting three or four bids. They're just trying to find somebody that's been recommended or somebody that they can trust to take care of them. And so if I lived anywhere in this area, I would try to open my business. So let's get into it for a second. I can't spend all day on it. But the way that you grow a profitable and purpose driven business is you want to set up the location of your business as close to your avatars as possible. And if there's red anywhere on your map, I'm trying to figure out how to get a co-working space, how to get a building or my my location for Google on this as close to this area as possible, because organically Google is only going to show you to the people that you're closest around. So I would want to move my business location. And this is $1 million conversation. So when I talk about spending $200 or $300 on a co-working spot or, renting something out, it is $1 million decision to go from this little area in the pink and move it over here. You can end up growing a massive company. But let me also show you this. This area is highly populated with orange. Every day we are cleaning and taking care of customers inside the orange areas. And so if I live anywhere inside of any of these counties or inside of these like little neighborhoods, I'm definitely taking advantage of this map. Now, remember, the green individuals are not our customers. They're the do-it-yourselfers. Remember that the pink is the folks that are good for young families. If you're trying if you're trying to do an outreach program or something like that. So that's also super helpful to know. And lastly, there's the one map that kind of rules them all is what's called a suitability map. And you'll get this with the purchase of your market analysis. If you want a market analysis, you can actually visit the pressurewashingpastor.com page I was telling you about earlier. Scroll all the way down to the very bottom and just click on order your market analysis. And from there, you can pick out what counties you want. And then you and I will end up having a 30-minute consultation on what I would do if I was you, if you're looking to start or scale. So let's go ahead and move into what's called a suitability map. It is the secret sauce. It's the cheat code. It's the radar. If you're a fisherman and you're on a massive lake, imagine for a second, I don't care how great of skills that you have, how long you've been fishing, what type of lure you're using. If you're trying to fish in a lake that you're unfamiliar with, and you can be the best on the planet, but if there's no fish where you're fishing, you're not going to catch any fish. The suitability map lets you know exactly where your fish are. And so you can be the worst fisherman on the planet, go to where the fish are, and you can practice getting better and better and better. And if you're trying to practice in a place there's no fish, you can end up thinking that there's something wrong with you, and it's not you. It's just your avatar, your customer is not located there. And so let me show you this again. Remember, we had a ranking of 1 to 100 and did we say 68? Yeah. And I said, hey, you want to spend your time on your top 10, I'd say top 10. And I wouldn't spend any more time or money if I'm growing a business outside of that. And that's kind of what we did. Once we overlaid this, now we spend all of our time and money exactly where our customers are. And I'm bringing in higher tickets, lower cost of leads, and the same amount of leads that we had before. We're just not having to fight for prices like we used to because of the market analysis. We know where our customers are. And so I want you to look at this again. Here's the total population. So you don't want to really worry about your ranking right now. You may assume, like I would, that if it's ranked number one, that's where I need to spend all of my time. Not so fast, my friend. What you need to do is check out the tapestry segment, number and letter, and you need to make sure that we're not focused on these guys or these. We're actually looking for anybody that starts with a one. And so I want us to just look at this. So here's 1D, 1E, 1B, and so forth. And so once you order your market analysis, you're going to go to this suitability analysis and you're going to highlight all of these big numbers. And big for me is anything over 500 to 1,000. And I'm just highlighting them all the way down. And I want you to do that all the way through your map. And remember, 1D, 1E, 1B, and 1B is right next to 1A. So 1A is our top tier. They're the individuals. Look at this. Look at this. And so right here, I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of excited just looking at the map. If I was inside of this county, I would, and I'm trying to decide where to spend my time and money, I would probably just highlight this one, this one. I've got over 10,000, if my math is somewhat close, right over 10,000 of our customers there. And then I'm also noticing there's 5,000 there. And I'm going to scroll all the way back over here. And if you had a printout, you can see it. And I'm going to say that 94539, if I have PPC, I'm giving this data to my paid per click, my Google Ads manager. If I am boots on the ground and I'm trying to just get scrappy, I'm going to go join a business networking group or um, develop some relationships inside of this Fremont area. And I'm going to grow my business there. I'm going to move my operations, everything that I can to that area. Why? Because there's over 10,000 of a value score of your customers there. And once you develop relationships, friendships, you can start selling your gutter services, your gutter cleaning services, your Christmas lights, like everything opens up. And it's a lot easier fishing where everybody is at versus trying to fish where none of your customers are. And so I want to show you another example of this. If you have 1B and 1A somewhere on your map, notice in the top five, look, there's not even any numbers here. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slide all the way down, 5 through 9. From 5 to 9, I'm not even 5 to 8. I'm not wasting my money inside of these areas because it's not my strategy. Now, if I lived far away from this Fremont area, I may be considering some of these other strategies, but you don't know this until you order a market analysis. And so, got a question for you. What are the questions that you have left that you need to know the answer to help you make a decision on whether you should start or how to spend your money and scale your business? For me to do the research and pull it all together was thousands of dollars and a lot of time and research. And to be honest with you, 8 years worth of intel. And so you get all of that information for nickels. And this year already, I've saved over $30,000 in ads. And now we're not wasting time in places that are far away that make no sense for us. I want to thank you in advance. If you're still watching, I want to make a special invite. There is something called the Huge Convention coming up in Nashville, Tennessee. It is the largest gathering of pressure washing and home service businesses. If you're looking to grow, scale, learn more about the business, you're going to want to go to the convention. Also, I'll be teaching as a breakout speaker on how to build a purpose and profitable driven business. Hey, let me share something real quick. It would actually be a mistake if you didn't order a market analysis. And I don't say that without it being weighty for me. If you are honestly really considering opening up a business, it's a mistake not to order the market analysis. If you're looking to scale, we were already hit $1.5 million before we ever even ordered or knew what a market analysis is. And now we're able to scale faster and spend less amount of money. And so wherever you are in your journey, if you don't have a heat map for your business, go ahead and order the market analysis. You can go to pressurewashingpastor.com, scroll to the very bottom, and click on your market analysis. It's pennies on the dollar on return, and it could end up saving you from opening a business or helping you grow a multi-million-dollar business in your city. And until next time, peace.